Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emma Hamilton and I am the owner and founder of Dandelion Cottage. I run an Etsy shop online and I just sell to family and friends and I have a lot of fun doing it. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to bleach a shirt start to finish. I'm talking from printing out your image to going outside, bleaching it, coming back inside, washing it, and then applying the image or pressing the image at the very end. Let's go ahead and get started. And I print my design. For instance, this is one of my police wife shirts. It's actually a special order. This one's gonna be a corrections wife shirt. What I do is I print this out. I grab my scissors, cut around the image as closely as I can. It's usually about 1/4 of an inch around the image that I'm doing. There you go, as easy as that. You can kind of see how I did that with the image. I just cut around it. On this image, I usually use the Heather Navy. I always use the Gilden brand. It's my favorite. And if the Gilden sold out, then I will go to the next level. That's funny, go to the next level. But no, there's a brand called Next Level, and I usually just go straight to Hobby Lobby to pick that up because it's usually like, I can't get it online, I can't find it anywhere, so I'll just go to Hobby Lobby and pick up that shirt. And they usually always sell their shirts at 30% off, so it's not too expensive. But I grab my shirt, and what I typically will do, for the sake of the video, I'm not gonna do it to make sure it's quick, but I usually will fold my shirt in half this way. Make sure that it's all lined up. I'll put it inside my press and press it for about 5-10 seconds. Then I'm gonna grab my shirt and I'm going to press it the other way. I grab my armpits, right there at the armpits, and I'm gonna press it straight across that way. And again, 5-10 seconds. Now the reason I do that is so that there's a crisscross right in the middle of your shirt, and you know exactly where the center of your shirt is because of what you just did. Just like we cut this one about 1/4 or 1/4 of an inch away from the image, you're gonna do the same thing when you're going around the image. You're gonna do about 1/4 of an inch away from your sublimation paper. Now you wanna be very careful because I haven't had this happen yet, but I'm sure it wouldn't be good. You don't want the bleach to hit this because I'm sure it'd probably ruin your image. So if you're not comfortable or if you're a little shaky, that's totally fine. Don't do 1/4 of an inch, do 1/2 an inch or even further if you want. So just start with what you're comfortable with, and then as you get practice, move it closer and closer. It's a little more daring, if you want to say. So yeah, you're gonna go around the image. Once you're done with the image or tracing the image, pick it up, take it inside where it's safe and it's not gonna blow away. Get it away from the elements of the outdoors. And then that's when you can go around and make sure that you're filling in the rest of the image with bleach. Yeah, so without further ado, let's go play outside. Welcome to my backyard. This is where all my bleaching takes place. As you can see, I use a paintbrush to dip into the bleach and then trace around my image. Now, the paintbrush that I choose is more of the stiffer bristles. And the reason I do this so that your bristles don't push down too hard and spread and accidentally touch your sublimation paper, which, like I said before, could possibly harm your image. Now you go back around your image to fill in the inside. As you can see, I am not going right along the line. And the reason for this is when I did go right along the line, it always bled over and then I didn't have a crisp line. So what I found is if you go around the image very close to the line and then at the very end, go back and touch it up, then your image won't bleed. It is very important to make sure that you have something in between your shirt so that it protects the back of your shirt from what you're painting on the front of your shirt. Otherwise, you're going to have a big bleach spot on the back, and that doesn't look good. What I use is a piece of cardboard. I've heard people using trash bags or lids from their plastic bins. You can be creative. There's other things that you can buy at Hobby Lobby that are designed just for this purpose. Next, we're gonna spray our shirts. What I did was just get a typical spray bottle and I made sure that I labeled it with permanent marker so that my family would know this is the dangerous bleach and not to touch it. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to call it spritzing and misting. So right now I turned it to the spritz so that I can get long streams across the shirt. I do that across the entire front. Then I'm gonna flip the shirts over and I'm gonna do it for the back side as well. I do not wait in between, I do it right away so that both sides are processing equally at the same time. The reason for the rocks, just in case you're curious, that day was quite windy, so I used the rocks to make sure that the shirts don't blow away. Next, for the fun part, what I like to call the marbling effect. Make sure that you're wearing gloves for this part because you will be touching the bleach. You pull the cardboard out from in between your shirt and then you're just crumpling it up. I always make sure that the white center where my image is going to go is not showing for this part because I don't want it to look like it bled into the marble sections. You'll see what I'm talking about as we get further into the video. Now that you've got your shirt all crumpled up, then you turn your sprayer to the mist mode. You're going to lightly spray the surface of the shirt, but make sure that you're not completely saturating it. It doesn't need to be too wet. A little bit of bleach goes a long way here. I then immediately flip the shirt to the other side and re-scrunch it. And then I spray that side, just like I did the front. I then immediately unscrunch the shirt and alternate the front and back by utilizing the sun and getting the bleach to the color that I want it. And here's the result of the processed bleach. Looks pretty awesome, right? Now you'll notice that there are going to be some spots that don't bleach all the way, but that's okay. It still looks great. Next, you're going to wash and dry your shirt. Don't use any harsh detergents and don't use any heat on your dryer. Make sure you're doing just the air fluff. You need to make sure that you use some form of blowout paper in between your shirt. I use butcher paper. I was able to buy a big roll off of Amazon and then I cut it into strips. Next, make sure that you lint roll the shirt before you press it. Grab another piece of butcher paper and press the shirt for about 5 seconds. Now grab your image and lay it face down onto your shirt. That's why the bleaching portion was so important, because if you did it right, your image is going to be in the center of your shirt. Tape your image with heat-resistant tape. Place your butcher paper and press it for 60 seconds. It's going to be hot, so be careful. Remove the image as quickly as you can to avoid any ghosting. You can then spray your image with hydrogen peroxide and use your heat press without touching the image to help dry it. It is essential that you only use each piece of butcher paper, aka blowout paper, one time. If you try and use it on your next shirt, the image from your previous shirt is going to show up on your next shirt, and that's never fun. Here's my last tip. When you're creating a lot of shirts at one time, stack all of your shirts in a pile, making sure that the butcher paper is already in between each shirt. Then you're going to stack the image print on top of each other as well. Put them in the same order. Then as you're going through your shirts, you pick up the shirt that you're working on and the image will coincide, and you've got a really great assembly line of shirts, and you can work very quickly. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was so fun teaching you the techniques that I've learned. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with them. Make sure that you're posting in the comments below if you've made a shirt, if you have any other ideas or opinions on what we can do to make this process better. Let's share it as a team, as a community. I started just off a whim. I started with my Cricut machine and I was having fun making some fun Cricut cards, and I had a really awesome 40th birthday party for my husband, making him banners and signs and just all sorts of things. I got involved in some Facebook pages via Cricut, and all of a sudden it just blew up. I just saw people doing shirts online, and I just knew that's where my passion was. So I have to be 100% honest and upfront with you. I learned everything I know from you guys. And if you don't know anything, if this is your first time to a video like this, all I ask you to do is pay it forward. We're all in this together, and we need each other. We need each other to grow. We need each other to learn. And really, we can help bounce ideas off of each other, and we can actually use the same customers. If you think about it, a trend doesn't become a trend unless a lot of people think that it's a trend. So if there is a lot of sellers selling the same thing, that's okay. Especially on Etsy, the more people, when people go to Etsy and they see, a really cool shirt, a baseball shirt, I'm more likely to sell my baseball shirts because others like me sell baseball shirts. So don't get too competitive. Pay it forward, share your craft, share your ideas so that others in turn will share it with you. I'm just telling you, it's good karma. Cheers to good karma. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one.